You're not coming to Christmas this year. My sister Emma's voice was cold. Final. Like she was canceling a subscription, not disinviting her own sister. What? Why? Because you don't fit in. You make everyone uncomfortable. You're awkward. You dress weird. You talk about things no one cares about. Honestly, Rebecca, the family would just rather you weren't there. I was 23 years old, standing in my tiny apartment, phone pressed to my ear, trying to process what I was hearing. So I'm banned from Christmas? Banned is a strong word. Let's just say, it's better if you make other plans. That was December 15th, 2014. I didn't go to Christmas. I spent it alone, eating ramen, crying, wondering what was so wrong with me that my own family didn't want me around. That was 9 years ago. I never contacted them again. Not once. No calls, no texts, no birthday wishes, nothing. Last week, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. When I did, I heard my mother's voice, older, shaky, desperate. Rebecca, it's Mom. I need to see you. Please. It's important. What she told me when we met changed everything. And what I did next? My family never saw coming. If you've ever been the black sheep of your family, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything. And comment below. Have you ever been excluded from family events for being different? Let's talk about it. Now, back to my story. Let me take you back to the beginning. December 2014. My name is Rebecca Chen. I was 23, fresh out of college, working as a junior software developer, living in a studio apartment in Seattle, barely making rent. My family lived in Portland, 2 hours away. My parents, Thomas and Linda. My older sister Emma, her husband Brad, and their 2 perfect kids. My younger brother Kyle, who was still in college. I'd always been the odd one out, the weird one, the one who didn't quite fit the family mold. Emma was the golden child, beautiful, popular, married young, had kids immediately, the picture-perfect daughter. Kyle was the baby, charming, athletic, everyone's favorite. And me? I was the nerdy middle child, the one who preferred books to parties, who studied computer science instead of getting a normal degree, who wore hoodies and jeans instead of dresses and heels. Growing up, I'd learned to live with being different. But I thought family was family. I thought blood meant something. I was wrong. That December, I called Emma to ask what time Christmas dinner was. We usually gathered at my parents' house around 2 p.m. About that, Emma said, her tone immediately putting me on edge. We need to talk, okay? Mom and I have been discussing it, and we think it's best if you don't come this year. My stomach dropped. What? Look, Rebecca, I'm just going to be honest. You make everyone uncomfortable. Last Christmas, you spent the whole time on your laptop. You barely talked to anyone. When Brad tried to make conversation, you talked about some computer thing he didn't understand. The kids think you're weird. It's just awkward. I was working on a project. I had a deadline. See? That's the problem. It's Christmas. Family time. But you're always working, always distracted, always making it clear you'd rather be somewhere else. That's not true. And your clothes. You showed up in a hoodie and ripped jeans. To Christmas dinner. Mom was embarrassed. Since when do clothes matter for family dinner? Since always, Rebecca. You just don't get it. You don't fit in. You never have. And honestly, it's exhausting trying to include you when you clearly don't want to be included. My throat tightened. So you're uninviting me from Christmas. I'm suggesting you make other plans. Spend it with friends, or alone. Whatever makes you happy, because you clearly don't enjoy being with us anyway. That's not, it's decided. Mom agrees. Don't come this year. Maybe next year will be different. But for now, it's better this way. She hung up before I could respond. I stood there, stunned, hurt, angry, confused. I called my mom. Did you know Emma was going to uninvite me from Christmas? Rebecca, sweetie, don't think of it as uninviting. Think of it as giving everyone space. Space? I live 2 hours away. How much more space do you need? You know what I mean. Emma's right. You do make things awkward. You're so different from the rest of us, and that's fine. But maybe it's better if you do your own thing for the holidays. You're my mother, and you're telling me not to come home for Christmas? I'm telling you that maybe it's for the best, for everyone. I felt something break inside me, not dramatically, just quietly, permanently. Okay, I hung up. That Christmas, I spent the day alone. I ordered Chinese food, watched movies, cried on and off, but mostly I felt numb, empty, like I'd been erased from my own family. The next day I made a decision. If they didn't want me, I wouldn't force myself on them. I would disappear, completely. I deleted their numbers from my phone, blocked them on social media, changed my email address, and didn't give them the new one. When my birthday came in February, no one called, no card, no text, nothing. They didn't even notice I'd cut them off, or maybe they noticed and didn't care. That stung more than anything. For the first year, I felt lost, untethered. I'd spent my whole life trying to fit into a family that didn't want me. Now, I was free, but freedom felt lonely. Then something changed. I stopped trying to be what they wanted and started being who I was. I threw myself into my work, coding, building apps, learning everything I could. I worked 70-hour weeks, not because I had to, but because I loved it. Year 2, I got promoted, junior developer to mid-level. My salary doubled. I moved into a better apartment, 1 bedroom, actual furniture. Year 3, I got headhunted by a tech startup. They offered me triple my salary. Equity. A title? Senior software engineer. I took it. The startup grew fast. The app we built got millions of downloads. My equity became worth something. Real money. Life-changing money. Year 4, I was promoted to lead engineer, then engineering manager. By year 6, I was director of engineering, making $250,000 a year plus stock options. I bought a house. Not a condo. A house. 3 bedrooms in a nice neighborhood, a yard, a home office, everything I never thought I'd have. I traveled, Japan, Iceland, New Zealand, all the places I dreamed about but never could afford. I made friends, real friends, people who liked me for who I was, who thought my weirdness was interesting, not embarrassing. I dated, had relationships, some good, some bad. Normal adult stuff. I built a life, a good life, a life I was proud of, without my family, without their approval, without trying to fit into a mold that was never made for me. And you know what? I was happy. Really, genuinely happy. I thought about them sometimes, wondered if they ever thought about me, wondered if Emma felt guilty, if my mom missed me, if my dad even noticed I was gone. But I never reached out. They'd made it clear I wasn't wanted, so I stayed away. 9 years passed. I was 32 years old, successful, independent, content. I'd built a life they knew nothing about, and honestly, I preferred it that way. Then 2 weeks ago, my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, almost sent it to voicemail, but something made me answer. Hello? Rebecca. The voice was older, shakier, but unmistakable. My mother. My heart stopped. How did you get this number? Your company's website. It lists you as director of engineering. I called the main line, asked for you. They transferred me. I'd never hidden. I'd just never reached out. Apparently, I was easy to find if anyone bothered to look. What do you want? I need to see you. Can we meet? Please? Why? I can't explain over the phone. Please, Rebecca. It's important. Is someone dying? A pause. Please, just meet me. 1 hour. That's all I'm asking. I should have said no. Should have hung up, blocked the number, moved on. But curiosity won. Fine, 1 hour. There's a coffee shop downtown, Brew and Bean, tomorrow at noon. Thank you. Thank you so much. She hung up. I sat there, staring at my phone, heart pounding, mind racing. After 9 years of silence, why now? The next day, I showed up at the coffee shop early, ordered a latte, sat by the window, waited. At 12:05, she walked in, and I barely recognized her. She'd aged. More than 9 years should have done. Her hair was mostly gray. She was thinner, tired. She looked small, fragile. She saw me, her eyes filled with tears. She walked over, hesitated, then sat down. "Rebecca, you look amazing." I didn't respond, just waited. "Thank you for meeting me. I know you don't owe me anything. I know I don't deserve this, but I'm grateful." "What do you want, Mom?" She took a breath. "It's Emma." Of course it was. "What about her?" "She's sick, stage 3 breast cancer. She's been in treatment for 6 months. It's not going well." I felt nothing. Maybe I should have felt something. Sadness, sympathy. But I just felt empty. "I'm sorry to hear that. She wants to see you. She asked me to find you. She wants to apologize for everything." "Now? After 9 years? She's apologizing now?" "She's scared, Rebecca. She's facing her mortality. And she regrets things. Regrets pushing you away. She wants to make it right." I laughed, short and bitter. "Make it right? How exactly does one make 9 years of being ignored right?" "I know we hurt you. I know what we did was wrong. Emma shouldn't have uninvited you. I shouldn't have supported her. We were cruel. And I'm sorry. So sorry." "Are you? Or are you sorry because Emma's sick and suddenly everyone's reevaluating their life choices?" Her face crumpled. "Both. Maybe. I don't know. But does it matter? She's my daughter. Your sister. She's dying. And she wants to see you." She said I didn't fit in, that I made everyone uncomfortable, that the family would rather I wasn't there. Those were her words, exact words. They're burned into my brain. She was wrong. We were all wrong. You didn't deserve that. You were just being yourself, and we punished you for it. Yes, you did. Please, Rebecca, I'm begging you. Come see her. Just once. Let her apologize. You don't have to forgive her. You don't have to come back to the family. Just give her closure. And give yourself closure too. I stared at my mother. This woman who'd given birth to me, raised me, then told me not to come home for Christmas because I didn't fit in. Part of me wanted to say no, to walk out, to let them feel a fraction of the abandonment I'd felt. But another part of me was curious. What would Emma say? How would she justify it? Would she actually apologize? Or was this some guilt-driven deathbed performance? "Fine," I said. "One visit, that's it. When?" "This weekend? She's home between treatments. Saturday afternoon? Text me the address. I'll be there at 2 p.m. I'm giving her 1 hour. After that, I'm leaving. And that's the end of it." "Thank you. Thank you so much, Rebecca." "Don't thank me yet. I haven't forgiven anyone. I'm just satisfying my curiosity." Saturday came. I drove to Portland, to the address my mom had texted. A nice house in the suburbs, bigger than I expected. Emma and Brad had done well for themselves. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, gathering courage, wondering if this was a mistake. Then I got out, walked to the door, knocked. My mother answered. "Rebecca, come in." The house was warm, decorated, photos on the walls, Emma's kids, teenagers now, playing video games in the living room. They glanced at me, didn't recognize me. Why would they? "Emma's in the den. Follow me." We walked down a hallway. My mom knocked on a door. "Emma, Rebecca's here." "Send her in." My mom opened the door, stepped aside. I walked in. Emma was sitting in a recliner, wrapped in blankets. She looked terrible. Bald from chemo, gaunt, pale, sick. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with tears. "Rebecca." I stood there, expressionless. "You wanted to see me. I'm here. Sit, please." I sat in the chair across from her, crossed my arms, waited. "You look good," she said. "Successful. Happy." "I am. I'm glad. I really am. Silence. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking. For what I said, for uninviting you, for making you feel like you didn't belong. It was cruel. It was wrong. And I've regretted it every day since. Have you? Because I waited for an apology. For years. You had my number, my email. You could have reached out any time. But you didn't. Until now. Until you got sick. I know. I was too proud, too stubborn. I thought you'd eventually come back, that you'd reach out first. But you didn't. And the longer it went, the harder it became. So you're apologizing because you're dying. She flinched. Yes, partly, but also because it's the truth. What I said to you that day, about not fitting in, about making everyone uncomfortable, it was projection. I was jealous. That caught me off guard. Jealous? Of what? Of you. Of your freedom. You were doing what you wanted, living your life, building a career. You weren't trapped by expectations. You didn't care what people thought. I resented you for it. So, you punished me. Yes, I did. And I'm sorry. You deserved better. You deserved a sister who supported you, not one who excluded you. I sat there, processing. You know what the worst part was? It wasn't being uninvited. It was realizing that no one cared. I disappeared for 9 years, and no one came looking. No one wondered if I was okay. No one missed me. That's not true. I missed you. Not enough to call. No, not enough for that. More silence. What do you want from me, Emma? Forgiveness? Closure? Some tearful reunion so you can die with a clear conscience? I want you to know that I was wrong. That you weren't the problem. We were. The family was. And I'm sorry we wasted 9 years. We didn't waste 9 years. You did. I spent those 9 years building a life, a good life, without you, without any of you. She nodded slowly. I'm proud of you, for what it's worth. I'm proud of the life you built. It's worth nothing. You don't get to be proud of me. You gave up that right when you told me I didn't fit in. Tears streamed down her face. I know, but I needed to say it. I needed you to know that I see you now. Really see you. And I'm sorry I didn't before. I stood up. I should go. We've been here an hour. That's what I promised. Wait, please. There's more. I paused. More? Sit, please. Reluctantly, I sat back down. Emma took a shaky breath. The reason I was so harsh that Christmas, the reason I pushed you away, it wasn't just jealousy. It was fear. Fear of what? Of being like you. I frowned. What does that mean? Growing up, I always did what I was supposed to. I was the good daughter. I married the right guy, had kids young, became a stay-at-home mom. I followed the script perfectly. Okay? But I hated it. Every day I felt trapped, suffocated. I looked at you, going to college, building a career, living independently, and I was jealous and terrified. Terrified of what? That if I acknowledged your path as valid, I'd have to question my own, that maybe I'd made the wrong choices, that maybe I'd wasted my life playing a role I never wanted. My anger softened, slightly. You could have just talked to me about it. I know, but it was easier to make you the problem, to say you didn't fit in, to exclude you, because if you were gone, I didn't have to face what your freedom said about my cage. I sat back, processing. So you made me the black sheep to protect your own choices. Yes, and it was wrong, so wrong, but I was young and scared and stupid. You were 28? Not that young. Old enough to know better. You're right. We sat in silence, the air heavy with 9 years of hurt and truth. I don't forgive you, I said finally. I can't. Not yet. Maybe not ever, but I understand now. Sort of. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just asking that you don't let our mistakes define you. You built an incredible life. Don't let our absence taint it. It doesn't. Not anymore. I made peace with being the odd one out. I found my people who celebrate my weirdness instead of punishing it. She smiled weakly. Good, that's good. My mom appeared in the doorway. Rebecca, there's someone else who wants to see you, if you're willing. Who? Your father. I hesitated. My dad had been silent during all of this, never defended me, never reached out. Why? Because he's been carrying guilt for 9 years, and he wants to say his piece. Fine, 5 minutes. My dad came in, older, gray. He looked at me, eyes red. Rebecca. Dad, I'm sorry for not standing up for you, for letting Emma uninvite you, for not coming after you when you disappeared. I failed you as a father. I felt my throat tighten. Out of everyone, his silence had hurt the most. Yes, you did. I was a coward. I thought staying out of it was neutral, but silence is a choice, and I chose wrong. Why didn't you call? Even once? In 9 years? Pride, shame, fear. I thought you hated us. I thought calling would make it worse. I was wrong. I stood up. I need to go. Please don't leave like this. I'm not leaving angry. I'm leaving because I have a life to get back to. A life that doesn't include you. Maybe that will change someday. Maybe it won't. But right now, I need space. I walked out of that house, got in my car, drove away. I didn't cry, didn't feel relief, just felt done. The next week, Emma texted me. Thank you for coming. It meant everything. I didn't respond. 2 weeks later, my mom called. Emma's in the hospital. It's not looking good. If you want to say goodbye. I thought about it. Hard. Long. Then I decided. I already said what I needed to say. I'm not coming. Rebecca. Mom. I gave her closure. I let her apologize. But I don't owe her a deathbed vigil. She made her choices. I made mine. I'm at peace with that. Will you at least come to the funeral when the time comes? It's not money. It's a letter. And a box of photos. She wanted you to have them. Why? Because in her last weeks, she talked about you constantly, about how you were the brave one, the one who chose yourself over family approval. She said she wished she'd been more like you. I felt tears prick my eyes. Finally. That's sad. Yes, it is. Will you come get them? The letter and photos? Mail them. I'd rather give them to you in person. Please, just one more visit. Then I'll leave you alone. I promise. I met my mom at the same coffee shop. She handed me a small box. The letter's on top. I opened it. Emma's handwriting, shaky from the illness. I read it silently. Rebecca, I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I want you to know the truth. You were always the strongest of us, the most authentic, the most brave. I spent my life trying to fit in. You spent yours being yourself. I was wrong to punish you for that. I was wrong about everything. Thank you for coming to see me. Thank you for letting me apologize. I hope someday you find peace with all of this. Love, Emma. Under the letter were photos, old ones, me and Emma as kids, playing, laughing, before everything got complicated, before she decided I didn't fit in. I looked at my mom. Why are you showing me this? Because I want you to know. We were wrong about everything. You weren't the problem. We were. And I'm sorry we wasted so many years. You keep saying that, but sorry doesn't fix 9 years. I know, but I'm hoping it's a start. Not to bring you back into the family, but to let you move forward without carrying our mistakes. I closed the box. Thank you. For this. For the apology. For finally being honest. Does this mean you'll come back? For holidays? For dinners? Even occasionally? I thought about it. I don't know. Maybe, someday, but not now. I built a life without you, a good life. I'm not ready to let you back into it yet. I understand, but when you're ready, if you're ever ready, we're here. I stood up. Goodbye, Mom. Not goodbye. See you later? I smiled, small but genuine. Maybe. See you later. I walked out, got in my car, drove home, to my house, my life, my hard-won peace. I'm Rebecca Chen. I'm 32 years old. I was banned from Christmas 9 years ago for not fitting in. I spent those 9 years building a life where I fit perfectly, where my weirdness is celebrated, where I don't need to shrink myself to be accepted. My sister apologized on her deathbed. My parents regret their choices. And me? I'm at peace. Not because I forgave them, but because I learned that their approval was never necessary for my happiness. If your family makes you feel like you don't belong, remember this. Sometimes the greatest gift is walking away, building your own family, creating a life on your terms. You don't need to fit into their world, you can build your own. And when you do, you'll realize their rejection was the best thing that ever happened to you. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world. And share in the comments. Have you ever been the family outsider? How did you handle it? I love reading your stories. See you next time.